Justice League Dark Apokolips War, the brand new DC animated film, and the final film inside of what we've been calling it, the DC animated movie universe that they've been starting with 2013's Justice League Flashpoint Paradox, and now ending with this film. And this film, like, here's the thing, for me, this universe has been more misses and hits. I have enjoyed some of them and all that, but I've been there since day one kind of stuff, so I kind of have been on board and been watching these, and hopefully, like, maybe it's the whole thing, maybe this one will be good. And I would say this is a good send-off. This is actually a very proper send-off. I mean, the story is, I mean, this movie is dark. I mean, there's some characters that have a level of levity towards it and that kind of thing, but this movie is dark. I mean, it's called Justice League Dark, but I mean, like, dark. Because the story is this. Because after the events of Death of Superman and the Reign of Superman, Superman's pissed, gets the Justice League involved, saying, we're all heading to Darkseid, we're all going to Apokolips, and we're going to whip his ass for one last time. But Darkseid's waiting. He has created this high grid of parademons, calling them Power Dooms, which is a high grid of parademons and Doomsday. And the Justice League loses. So we flash 2 years later, seeing a invasion of Earth. And what is happening is the remaining members of the Justice League Dark, Teen Titans, and Suicide Squad, basically doing one big hurrah, doing one last mission, one last push, and hope for God they can save the Earth and all that kind of stuff, and hope Darkseid doesn't, hope Darkseid doesn't win this time. And because of it, knowing it's the last one, they were not kidding when they when they said, "Oh, you know, some characters are going to die." No, not some. It's like I don't know, 80% of the DC roster. It feels like so, like every time, like there was a point every time I saw a character get killed, I was like, oh no, like, come on, like, laughing as, no, like, come on, this is ridiculous. Can we please have some character 5 pound evens and winning? I mean, Superboy got his neck snaps, Batgirl is just getting clambered by it. I'm like, no, Barbara, and this and that, and you're like, Nightwing gets stabbed through the chest and all that. You're like, every time you're like, no. It's disappear again. Disappear. If you're gonna watch this movie, you're going to see a lot of death of these characters that have been around. These are iconic characters. Even if you have been or have not been fans of these versions of these characters, and it's gonna be very heavily if you have been a fan of these versions of these characters, but appear to see them getting murdered and slaughtered. It's just. That's the first thing really took me off guard a little bit, just because, you know, I think because we're so used to seeing these characters as winning and save the day, and maybe, you know, a couple do get killed off, but not like Game of Thrones style, which is basically don't get attached to any one level. But here's the thing, it's a good movie. It's a decent send-off. The ending scene is great, and how the stuff they deal with Superman is great, where Superman has a kryptonite tattoo, a kryptonite logo, the Superman logo tattooed to his chest, so he can't use his powers. And you get this interesting thing, okay, how does Superman, you know, go around, even through action scenes and all that. It's very interesting seeing Constantine as basically the main character of this movie. Constantine is the main character of the movie, which you kind of like, normally you're thinking it might base it on, you know, Superman or Batman or Wonder Woman, maybe Bigfoot, maybe Harley, all that. And what they do for Harley, I mean, Harley Quinn and Captain Boomerang is basically the comic relief. I mean, there's a scene where Harley Quinn is singing, if you know, if you happen to know it, clap your hands, right? If you know you're happy, you know, clap your hands. That song, she sings a version that is, if you're happy, you know it, smash the face, and that's just funny and joyful. And you have bickering between Constantine and Captain Boomerang about Australia versus Britain and all that kind of stuff. You got that level of comic relief along with this dark story, because I mean, even with the ending that it has, it's because the ending is like a hopeful ending, but it's kind of also like a sour note ending. It's like a sad but happy at the same time type ending. But yeah, I mean, it's a good send off. It's a good send off. Just I think a lot of people's heads, including myself, were kind of thinking this is gonna be this big giant hurrah. It's gonna be this big thing, like a 9-minute battle. And it becomes this, slaughter fest. I was all that, but we got to see Justice League kick some parademons and Darkseid in the bollocks. So that's always a good thing. But if we get another movie animated universe post this, then or are we back to before we had this like separate separate adaptations of stories from the comics and that kind of stuff. We'll have to wait and see. But if you're being a fan, you'll love this movie.